So, yeah, he's actually quite good, isn't he?
He's all over the place. Referee having a close look.
Well, AJ took 7 rounds, Fury took 6 rounds, but young Mo took barely 1. Now, we were all hoping that this fight would answer questions about the so-called future of boxing, but since we only got about 2 minutes worth, I'm left here thinking, well, did that tell us everything we needed to know, or did that tell us fuck all? Now, of course, it told us a great deal, and I'm going to give Mo his props in a minute, but bloody hell, Mr. Baby Snatcher, what happened, bruv? I've just never seen him look so out of place in the ring before. He was flat-footed, slow, didn't throw a single punch, and he left that famous check left hook of his back at home. I thought it would be semi-competitive for a few rounds, but there we are, clueless once again. And I said it in my previous video, although he looks lean, I don't quite understand the weight cut because a prime Dillian was an absolute unit and he was able to pack a serious punch and bully other fighters. I think that was kind of proved right in a way, because when he did square off with Itauma after the first belt, he looked like fucking Mo Farah. He looked completely dishevelled, and we've never really seen Dillian look tiny against anyone before, whereas Itauma himself looked well-rounded and full-bodied. And as for Buddy McGirt, well, he weren't lying when he said he ain't watched any of Atouma's fights. Fucking hell, I mean, we all let it slide because you know it's Buddy McGirt, the man's a Hall of Fame legend of boxing. But come on, buddy, it's 2025, bruv. Buy a fucking plug for your TV and turn it on. Have a little look at what you're dealing with, because by the way, Ben Davison did exactly the opposite, studied the bollocks off of Dillian, and it worked to perfection.
For the first maybe 2-3 minutes, I saw he was doing exactly what Ben telling me to do, but it's just, you know, the fight nerves, whatnot kicked in. And then after maybe like the first minute, I was like, okay, cool. I keep seeing this happen. I can't miss it. So, yeah, man. Executed the game plan.
Yes, big up Ben. This video analysis has worked well for him very often, and it's hard to know exactly what he's talking about, but you'd imagine it would be involving the little dip that Dillian Whyte seems to do very often, and it would make sense because that essentially was the shot that got him the knockout. Anyway, yeah, sad times for the Snatcher, but in a nutshell, he's just not the fighter he was from around 2018 to 2023. However, in that time, he did unfortunately pop for drugs twice, so make of that what you will. Plus, I've got to be honest, I noticed something on the night that kind of summed it all up for me. Nigh on every Frank Warren and Saudi show has been commissioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, but this one was not. And since the AJ rematch fallout, they weren't involved in Dillian's poor fight against Hammer, and neither were they involved in his poor fight against Tete. I'm not trying to leave you a riddle, but if you read between the lines, that does tell a little story. But anyway, I know it's all hindsight, but I didn't like the energy coming out of Dillian all week. It was a bit flat and lifeless. Was that because he just can't be bothered with this game anymore, or was it because he knew he was a lamb to the slaughter, fully aware that he's the shell of what he once was? Maybe it was both. There's been talks about injuries and bad legs. I don't know, I don't think it would have mattered either way, but ultimately, even though we say well done for taking the fight in the first place, I don't know how you come back from this one in terms of big fights. As we know, every fighter has a shelf life, and Dillian seems to have just finally reached his expiry date. There's nothing you can really do about that. Fair dues if he calls it a day, but then again, I wouldn't be surprised if he don't. In fact, I can just smell the smelly odour of a Dillian Whyte Joe Joyce fight at the Copper Box Arena in 2026. Don't be surprised. Now, just before we carry on, can I have a few seconds of your time? We all have bad habits, but today's sponsor is on a mission taking the bad out of them habits. They are the leading alternative to vaping and smoking. Big it up for Fume. Now, I don't know if you know about the flavoured air movement, but Fume is an award-winning flavoured air device which has no vapour, meaning you can use it anywhere. It contains no nicotine, so it's not addictive, and it uses non-toxic flavours in its cores, making it a perfect guilt-free alternative. Plus, there's no batteries, no cables, nothing to charge, which is a right result because they don't have to get on your fucking nerves, don't it, all them bloody cables. Now, Fume is double genius because the flavours can mimic that throat hit without the need for actual vapour. By the by, I'm a big fan of the crisp mint flavour and the orange vanilla, them two are crackers, and it's also built with calming benefits, magnets and metals that snap and click for all you fidgeters out there. Terrific stuff. So join over 50,000 people who have replaced them bad habits with Fume, and if you order the Journey Pack using my code PROPER, you'll get a free Fume topper. Go to tryfume.com/proper or scan the QR code on screen to grab yours today. Now, it weren't his best night, but fair play to Nick. He fought his heart out as usual, and especially at the end there, because he probably weren't too sure if he was up on the scorecards. Usyk did the same against AJ in their second fight, and that's the mark of a champion. But going forward, with rumours that Inoue is lined up potentially at the end of the year, he maybe could have done with something a bit more emphatic for everyone one to go. Okay, Bull versus Inoue is bound to be a very close fight. Yes, Inoue has some vulnerabilities, but still you'd imagine that very few are now going to pick Bull to win that one. However, styles do make fights, so fuck knows. Inoue's a little bit shorter than Goodman, so that'll help Bull for a start, and maybe he comes back better, stronger and top of his game. Finally on that one, big up Sam Goodman, great fighter, and hope we see him get some more big opportunities in the future. The man is a warrior. And talking of warriors, yes, big up David Adelaide. He's got some big solid bollocks, this man. Look at this, he was getting walloped about, but he stuck his tongue out. He said, fuck off Phil, mama didn't raise no foal, bring it on big boy. And then, well, Hrgović did bring it on and he fucking nailed him, but still, brilliant heart from old David. And then he almost pulled off the Rocky story about 30 seconds later. I was losing my fucking blob. Terrific stuff, David. Now okay, don't get me wrong, I think we can all agree that he is limited. He certainly didn't throw enough to the point that Adam Booth got the ump with him, and much like the TKV fight, he didn't really know what to do when things were going wrong. So with all due respect, personally, I don't really see him getting to world level. However, to caveat that, I don't really give a shit. Plenty of great fights for him to be had, and he does hit double hard. You just never know what's going to happen when this man's in the ring. I bloody love it. Then as for Hrgović, well, the man's got a naughty chin, ain't he? Adelaide was playing tennis on his fucking head and he was absolutely fine. Him and Usyk are definitely king of the chins, and personally, I like what I'm seeing from Hrgović these days. Abel Sanchez has certainly got him going again. I know he gets hit a lot, but you can't deny the man is very skillful. I'd like to see him in with Bakoli at some point, because them two can't fucking stand each other. That'd be good fun.
You potentially fighting Bakoli. I thought I read somewhere that he turned it down or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
It was offered, yeah, and we accepted, and he said he don't want, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think about Martin? Because he always talks about people turning him down, so...
He didn't want to fight. He's a good fighter, but I think he did one good fight and then he gained like 500 pounds by the whole Gucci shop. And
However, maybe, just maybe, old Frankie Warren sees Hrgović as a potential opponent that can finally give Moses Itauma the rounds he so desperately needs, just before he goes up into the big leagues with Parker, Kabayel and of course Mr. Usyk. Now, yes, Dillian was terrible, but regardless, Moses looked frighteningly good. The way he comes in and out of range, the shot selection, the footwork, not to mention the power, it's all simply as good as it gets. And being this good at just 20 years old, it's quite scary how good he could be in 2 years, 5 years, even 10 years when he's 30, which by the way is when a lot of fighters hit their prime. The possibilities are endless, and hopefully we found a heavyweight who can carry mainstream boxing when the likes of Usyk, Fury and AJ finally leave, which of course won't be too long. Now I know it's getting fucking boring, but yes, we still ain't seen what he's like late into a fight, or his chin checked, or how he reacts when he's getting backed up. But putting that to one side, you can't really look at the skill set he possesses and not say, outside of Usyk, he's already capable of beating every heavyweight on the planet today, because he's a walking nightmare for them all. I'm not delusional though. Yes, I think he's the real deal, but he's bound to have tough fights throughout his career, maybe bad performances, and he may even hit the canvas at some point, who knows. But still, everything considered, this man is flames and he's going to be seriously feared by everyone. Personally though, I just can't put Usyk in that sentence. Maybe it's because I'm a fanboy, or maybe it's just because I got fucking eyes. But facing Usyk is clearly a different battle. It's not just his unbelievable skill, it's having the mental resilience to beat him as well. And as it stands, I don't see how you can add that after 13 fights, all of which were quite a way below world level, and 11 of which didn't go past 2 rounds. Anyway, all that being said, fuck me, he's good, NT. I can't see Frank going crazy though after this. Even though it was a stunning win, I think he'll be a little bit cautious still, because he knows he's very likely got a sensation on his hands. I mean, what's the point of rushing things? So I can't see it being Parker or Kabayel. I'm betting on a level or 2 below that. It ain't going to be Wardy or AJ because they're in the same camp, and it ain't going to be Dubious because he's coming off a bad loss. I reckon someone like Hrgović, as mentioned. In fact, my money's on him, and it seems double likely as he's WBO number 2. Plus it'd be a good look for Moses to be the first man to potentially lay him out properly. Or maybe he'll go wide outsider, like for example I've heard Franklin being mentioned. Not sure how you sell that one because Dillian beat him and Moses obliterated Dillian, but then again very likely it could be Bakole, even though I struggle to see Bakole taking that fight. But finally, don't discount old big fat titty Miller. I know he shouldn't be in the sport, I know, but he is, and he does get eyeballs, so for Frank it does make sense. Anyway, yes, it's got to be something exciting, and one of them two would be Pucker. And by that time, who knows where the belts are gonna be, but you bet your bumhole that Frankie boy will have the best route for him already mapped out on the back of his hand. And for me, if he ain't world champion within a year and a half, I'll eat me hat. Come on chaps, let me know your thoughts about Moses below, and don't forget to join over 50,000 people who have replaced them bad habits with Fume. And if you order the journey pack using my code PROPER, you'll get a free Fume topper. Go to tryfume.com/proper or scan the QR code on screen to grab yours today.